Hi, guys. I wanted to start by apologizing for not being there today. I just do have something going on today, and so unfortunately I will not be there. But that being said, I did want to at least give you this video lesson so that you can watch it today during our class and try out what we learned yesterday, which was the race strategy. I also want to start by saying that I understand that this strategy can at times be challenging. And so what I'm looking for is for you to just try your best on the assignment today, and then we will continue working together once I am there in person next week. And so before we get started on the directions for the new assignment, I want to talk to you just really briefly and remind you about the strategy, okay? So our strategy is a writing strategy, and it's going to get us really expanding our answer and strengthening our explanation. And so this strategy is a 4-part strategy. The first part is restating the question at the start of your answer to show readers what question you're answering. We talked a lot about that in detail yesterday, and we wrote on our desks the answers to 6 questions, and we all did amazing at restating. Then we move on to the answer. So we restate our question, and then we answer the question. Then yesterday, we talked about citing text evidence that is directly copied from the text. And then lastly, we explain our answer. Now, we did not get to the explain yesterday, and so today, on the assignment that I'm going to ask you to complete, I'm only expecting you to try the R, the A, and the C, okay? We don't have to do any explanation at all today. Just restating, answering, and citing some evidence. And so now that we have that recapped, here's what I need you to get out. Today, you are going to need, let me pull my assignment up here. Today, you are going to need your language arts notebook open to our notes from yesterday. You're going to need the short story that the substitute teacher is passing out, and it looks like this. It's called the Breakaway. Then we are going to need a pink highlighter from our binder, a yellow highlighter, and a blue highlighter. And so if possible, go ahead and pause the video and get up and get all of those materials if you have not gotten those already. Okay. From there, the assignment that I'm asking you to work on today in class is a brand new assignment with a new story where we're going to be practicing the race strategy. Now, 7th graders, I know we did not have an opportunity yesterday to finish our work together on the story 11. And 8th graders, I know also that we didn't get an opportunity to answer a second question about our story Ruthless. But for now, we're going to put those 2 stories aside, and we're going to try a new story called The Breakaway, just so that I could see you guys practice independently. Of course, we're going to go over all of this again when I see you next week. All right, so for this assignment today, here's what you're going to see. You're going to see that the directions say that today you will complete 3 steps, and you need to complete the steps in order. So I'm going to go over the 3 steps, and then you can get to work. So step 1 is read the story The Breakaway. As you read, you will be asked to highlight different pieces of text evidence from the story in your 3 colored highlighters. Here is what you're going to highlight. In your pink highlighter, okay, you are going to highlight 3 pieces of text evidence from the story that clearly show that Justin, the main character, had given up after his injury. So in the story The Breakaway, you're going to read the story, and when you get to parts of the story where you're noticing that our main character Justin is giving up, that's when we want to start highlighting. We want to highlight 3 pieces of text evidence that show that he's giving up. Then we want to get our blue highlighter. And on our blue highlighter, we want to highlight 3 pieces of text evidence that show that the impact, that Kiki had on Justin. Now, Kiki is Justin's sister, And she shows up in the story, and she really has a large impact on Justin as a character. When we get to that part of the story, we are going to stop, get our blue highlighter, and highlight 3 pieces of text evidence that really prove that she has a big impact on him. And then lastly is our yellow highlighter. In our yellow highlighter, we're going to highlight 1 piece of text evidence. And that evidence is going to be from the story that shows that despite Justin's injury, he was still able to succeed. So in the story, our character Justin is able to overcome his injury and succeed in different ways. When we find that part of the text, we're going to stop and we're going to highlight 1 piece of text evidence in yellow. So once you're done with the story, you should have 3 pink highlights, 3 blue highlights, and 1 yellow highlight, okay? All of your highlights are going to help you with your race strategies. That is step 1. Step 2. Now that you have read the story and you have highlighted, all of your text evidence, now we're going to use that text evidence to practice the race strategy. Now, what I've done here is answer 3 questions below by restating the question, answering the question, and then citing text evidence to support your answer, just like we did yesterday, just like we talked about yesterday. Now, guys, we haven't had a lot of practice at this, especially the citing text evidence. So I understand that that might be challenging for you. But what I want you to do in this step is just try your best and use your notes to help you. I'm going to be at home pulling up your work, seeing as you write, and then I'll be able to give you feedback, hopefully right in the moment while you're working on this assignment. Now, I want you to remember that citing text evidence is a 3-step process. That means that we need a little summary of what's going on in the story, we need to introduce the text evidence, and then we could cite it. So you have 3 questions here. How does the author show readers that Justin had given up after his injury? How did Kiki have a large impact on Justin? And how was Justin successful even though he could no longer play basketball? All 3 of those questions you already have the text evidence for from step 1. So all you're doing is restating, answering the question, and citing text evidence to prove your answer to me, okay? And so when you're done with step 3, I'm all over the place today. When you're done with step 2, you should have answered all 3 questions. Okay, so that is step 2. Then to step 3, we're doing exactly what we did in class together yesterday, which is once we're done writing, we're going to highlight our restate in red, our answer in blue, and our cited text evidence in green. So you'll go back up to your questions, you'll go into your answers, and you'll highlight all the parts of your answers to show me that you have all the parts of the race strategy. Okay? Like always, you will be given lots of feedback on this assignment, but I am going to ask that this assignment get done by Wednesday evening. And so I'm going to make this due in Google Classroom Wednesday night at 11 p.m. That gives me enough time to be able to give you feedback for the next 2 days, which is Thursday and Friday. Okay? And then I will post an additional assignment in Google Classroom Wednesday for you guys to work on your days that you don't see me. Okay? Again, do the best you can. I'm so sorry I'm not there. I was really enjoying our day together yesterday, and I thought you guys did amazing. And I couldn't stop bragging about you guys to Dr. Clark, and then here I am not being able to come to school today. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. You're welcome to reach out to me if you have any questions at all. But in the meantime, I'm going to kind of keep my eyes on your work during our class period today to see how you are doing and give you feedback as soon as I possibly can. Okay, I look forward to seeing you guys next week, and have an awesome day. Bye, guys.